Welcome back to Critical Role this week, ladies and gentlemen, where a bunch of us awesome voice actors get together and play Dungeons & Dragons weekly. We got most everyone here right now. We have Travis is on his way. He flew all the way from Alaska, and thanks to some delays in weather and everything, he's getting here as fast as he can. But in the meantime, our illustrious Laura Bailey will be controlling Grog.
Grog will be played by Trinket.
Excited for that prospect. Our party of adventurers, the VOX MACHINA, had broken a few rules in the city of Vasselheim and had actually infracted upon a contract for a guild of creature hunters known as the Slayer's Take. And this group essentially told the VOX MACHINA that either they could go and be arrested for this and put on trial for breaking the law, or they could go and join the guild, as such could be included and written onto the contract, and everything would be fine. They inquired with the huntmaster, and she basically told the party that they could join after they went through a trial. They had to complete a contract. However, she hand-chose and divided the party into two separate smaller groups. Scanlan, Percy, Vex, and Grog were paired up with two new adventurers, one of which was Zara, the tiefling warlock, who also is a prospective to join the Guild of Slayer's Take, and Felicia's character, Lyra, the human wizard, who's somehow became a member of the guild and is assigned on her first ever excursion to lead this group towards the end of their contract. Now you, the audience, chose the creature which they were going to hunt, and you voted on an adult white dragon. So they've been hunting that.
I didn't realize the audience chose that.
Yeah.
Thanks, guys.
After stalking your way up the Glasswalk Road to the north of the city of Vasselheim, through the Vesper Timberlands, through the cold weather as you continue to travel northward, you managed to come upon what looked to be a perpetual blizzard that was blowing around this mountain range, and the dragon was sighted once again, taking its rest to the north part of this mountain. You pushed through the forest, managed to avoid a few possible dangerous situations thanks to your ranger guiding you through her favorite terrain, eventually coming upon the base of this mountain range. Now you looked above and you saw what looked like the entrance to a cavern where at least the dragon seems to fly in and out of. And there was a smaller cavern towards the base of the mountain. You went to inquire what was in there, at which point out of nowhere a giant rock made of solid ice and stone was flung out of the forest, slamming into Vex. At which point two frost giants seemed to, one coming out of that cavern, another seemed to be stalking through the woods, approached the party, and that is where we left off. So, to begin this, I would like everyone to roll initiative. So at the top of the round, as one giant has pulled itself out of the cavern and begins shouting over in giant about the intruders, the secondary one that comes stalking out of the forest, both of them lift these giant axes that were currently held on the side of their leather belts. Give it a bellowing scream and go charging into the fray.
It is bad news time. I'm going to bust out bad news and take a shot.
All right.
I'm going to take the -5 to my attack bonus and see what that does. 21.
21 will hit.
33 points of damage.
33 points of damage. Nice. Wow. This loud, ringing explosion that kind of echoes through this small valley at the base of the mountain. You see a splash of light, a plume of smoke goes up, slamming into the shoulder of the giant over here that's currently reaching for a rock. It pushes him back against the wall, which prevents him from falling over, and he catches himself. Looks back, and you can see there's a small crater in the armor where a little bit of blood begins to pour out, and a little bit of smoke seems to be pouring out of the impact. Gives out a really angry yell. You can see like spittle that begins to kind of shake loose and spray from his mouth out of frustration.
Grog shouts out in giant that, wait, my giant masters were killed by a white dragon, which we think is here. Will you help us fight him?
Okay, so as Grog stands there shouting this out to both sides of the two giants, I would have Grog go ahead and roll a persuasion check.
So I rolled a 1 for Grog.
It might work.
They seem unfazed, and the one to the back seems almost partially amused at this plea. That ends Grog's turn. Vex, you're up.
I'm gonna shoot him 2 times.
Okay.
14 for that. That probably doesn't hit.
14 did not hit.
14 also doesn't hit the second time.
No.
Oh my god, what is happening?
She just disappeared.
Vex!
She just disappeared.
Stay with us, Vex! Oh no!
So, as you go to pull your arrow, you can feel a kink in your shoulder. The impact of the rock seems to have
it really
physically
hurt
affected
my
you.
Rib.
You release the first arrow, and it's just slightly off mark. The second one, you pull back, and as you release it, it actually splinters off his shield as he knocks it out of the air.
I am gonna run over to cover.
I am freaked out right now. These are very large individuals. I've only read about them, and so I'm going to take 10 d6 and do disintegrate.
Whoa.
On 40 plus 40.
Wait, what?
Yeah, disintegrate.
Okay.
Yeah.
So, and he failed a saving throw. She points her finger out, and a tiny, sickly green ray of energy just streaks forth from her finger. The giant kind of looks at it awkwardly in the split second that it hits him in the front of his chest, and suddenly the armor in front of him just turns to dust, and you can see his flesh begin to just disappear in front of him. It suddenly tries to gasp for air as you see part of its jaw begin to just turn to sand, and it's almost like a portion of it rotted right before you, but there's no actual necrosis. It's just gone. Flesh is missing from a large part of its body. It looks like it's doing really poorly. This very unhappy giant is going to...
He's got a turn.
He's gonna reach over with his one good arm. The other one's kind of touching the axe to the side. It reaches down and grabs another rock off the ground that it can find nearby, and flings it at you. 16. What's your armor class?
It's 13.
Unable to really move out of the way, you look over and just watch it come towards you as it slowly spins in the air. Time seems to slow as you make no intent to shift out of the way. Whack! It slams into you. 32 points of bludgeoning damage. Zara and Scanlan, as you see this happening, you hear the heavy footfalls behind you. You look over your shoulder as the second giant comes up with the shield in one arm. Axe is going to go in one giant swing towards the two of you. 19 to hit on you, Scanlan.
Oh, yeah.
25. All right. 27 points of slashing damage to you, Scanlan. 31 points of slashing damage to you, Zara. As it just cleaves through the both of you. You're almost knocked off your feet from the sheer blow. Most of the armor takes the damage, but you can feel a heavy bruise, and you underneath your armor, you can feel a little bit of the blood beginning to soak through from this severe impact.
I'll just cast Lightning Bolt on him.
Okay.
That's
So-
always a good go-to.
As you fumble with the idea of what spell would work, you just and release a bolt of lightning up towards it. It streaks into the front of its chest and shoulder area. You can see its muscles tense and shake from the sheer amount of electricity that presses into it. Oh, it does not make that saving throw.
32.
32 points of damage. Nice. It shakes from the impact and then kind of rights itself and looks down at you with a really angry face. You can see as it opens its mouth. Up close at its sheer size, this is a very intimidating creature as it kind of just stares down, looming over you now with smoke pouring off its shoulder where you impacted it with the lightning bolt.
I shall cast mass suggestion, and I shall say to them, you will take us to your enemy, the white dragon, and there we shall slay it together. Then you shall return us here safely, where we shall part as friends, bonded forever in the slaying of a common enemy.
17, all right.
Come on.
Both of them kind of reach up and grab their faces, one of them with this kind of messed up, partially disintegrated hand, and kind of falls back on its back foot, and both of them kind of look at the group in confusion. There definitely seems to be some sort of interference with their current actions based on this spell. There's a conflict within them. That's as much I can tell you right now at the moment.
Oh no.
I'm going to hold my turn.
Okay.
Should I say in giant?
Yeah.
What say you? Let's fight this bastard together.
They kind of look at Grog, confused. Look at each other again. That's Grog's turn. Vex?
Seriously? I
They're
like,
coy
while
giants.
everybody's having a conversation, I would like to take a healing potion.
Yes.
All right, go ahead and take one of those.
I'm confused. I'm just gonna hold my turn
Okay.
to see what happens.
At this point in time, as it comes to the giant's turn, the one who's kind of messed up kind of looks over to the other and puts the axe on his belt loop. The other one also puts his axe in the belt loop, and they kind of glare at the rest of the group. Say in giant, Grog translates, essentially, they say, "We'll take you, but it's at your own folly."
Grog, can you ask them take us as in lead us or on their back?
They both kind of chuckle to themselves, and they just start walking
Okay.
Okay.
in towards
Well,
the cavern.
Grog
Yay.
would like to take his chain of returning off of one of the axes that he had it on and put it onto the firebrand warhammer that he took off of that dwarven crackhammer.
Oh, that was King Murgle, I think, wasn't it?
Yes.
Yeah.
Wow.
The Durgar king you fought in the Underdark.
I want to borrow Grog for just a second, and and ask these two if they've encountered the dragon before and what its disposition is. Anything we should know.
As Grog finishes translating to the giants kind of chuckle to himself, and the other one says down to him,
They killed our people, but we're alive because we serve it. We'll bring you, like we promised. Like we brought all the others.
If your people have been persecuted for so long and you've lost so many, and you serve them now, do you want to live as slaves?
We want to live.
Yes, but we're offering you the opportunity to stop your servitude, to end it forever.
They keep walking. We'll see how this plays out.
All right.
This is the process here. About 200 feet further into this cavern, the tunnel opens up into a gargantuan natural rock chamber coated in ice crystals across the entirety of the kind of rounded, craggulous ceiling. So between the fire that is now burning and flickering off of the warhammer and your light spell, you can see as you enter following these giants, there are definitely the remnants of a village here, a village that was designed on the scale of these giants. And while many of these structures still stand, it is eerily quiet as you step inside. You can see many of these structures have been smashed and destroyed, and there is a layer of ice and snow. And the room is extremely cold. With the little bit of light you have, everyone's breath is very clearly visible with each puff. You all bundle up even tighter with your various furs and winter
I
clothing.
snuggle very close to Trinket.
Trinket snuggles very close to you, because Trinket, while made for this type of temperature, is still uncomfortably cold even at this point. You see most of this village brought to its knees and destroyed, murdered, eaten, or imprisoned, and these two essentially chosen to survive and given the order to bring what this creature wants. And
There's
they'll be
only
left.
two of you left.
You get this sense of sadness and fear, but also a sense of kind of a lack of any other option. A lot of the rubble has been kind of pushed and coalesced into a central monolith, almost like a 25, 30 foot sculpture of chaos. You catch the framing of the light on it, and it seems to be built into almost an altar or some sort of a large sculpture of worship of a winged dragon creature that is currently in the process of kind of swooping down. You get the sensation that this was built as essentially a place of offering to this white dragon, and hopefully a symbol to keep themselves alive.
I have a spell called Legend Lore.
Mm-hmm.
Can I cast that on White Dragon just to see if there's hope?
Let's see what Legend Lore does. I like this.
The spell brings to your mind a brief summary of the significant lore about the thing you named. Current tales, forgotten stories, secret lore that's never been widely known.
As you take a moment, and everyone kind of stops and look around, you notice that Lyra is sitting there currently like muttering to herself and putting her fingers through the air, and you can see these small arcane sigils begin to kind of flash in the air as she places her hands, at which point her eyes glaze over with this kind of shimmering gold energy, and she seems to go into a trance. The image of darkness, black, and a struggle to push, a struggle to exist, a struggle to survive, and then suddenly light. You see the cracking of something releasing, and from there, pulling forth from this singular egg, the only one left of its clutch, a white dragon wormling pulling itself out of the egg. This you immediately sense is the dragon that now resides within this mountain. You begin to see flashes in time of it struggling to survive in the frozen tundra to the north, desperately trying to escape poachers and individuals trying to hunt it. You get the sense at one point it was already the target of some contract that failed. And for a brief second, you see a flash of a frozen cavern recently, and a few individuals locked in an icy prison, bitten down on and shattered before it cuts to black again. There is just spite. There is anger. There is ego. You've heard and you've read many things about dragons, and you hear things of great intelligence and articulate entities. This dragon is far more feral and bestial than anything you've read about. It has an intelligence, but it seems to not be concerned with the intricacies of conversation as much as it is to bend everything to its will and to give to me. And the one thing that catches your mind before the spell ends is the name that it finally came upon itself, the name that it heard whispered as one of its would-be hunters was
Jeff.
suddenly Jeff the dragon. the name Rhymefang rings through your mind.
Rhymefang.
And you begin to think, wait, so if a team of really practiced people never returned from this contract, and then we were sent on this as an entry level,
Hey guys, I have a suspicion that maybe, the guild didn't want us to succeed. And I don't want to panic anybody. It's
Your
just,
guild? If you think that we've been sent on some sort of suicide
it's,
mission.
oh, that's a good the way you put it there.
Well, I'm a master of words. Should we abandon all hope and just flee? I mean, is that what you're suggesting as our leader? Or should we carry it through and prove everyone wrong?
We're here because we thought we could handle this, and nothing has changed. This changes nothing.
We're very capable fighters.
We are very capable.
Knowledge is
I
power.
have seen this. You have proven yourselves already. Those orcs didn't stand a bloody chance.
you guys have moved past most of the village and you've gone towards the back of this large chamber. And you do see what appears to be a tunnel that ascends upwards deeper into the mountain proper. You guys continue to ascend up this pitch black cavern here. It appears that both the giants and the dragon do not need light to make their way through this cavern structure, and so you are the small beads of visual light in this entire structure. For lack of a better term, there isn't a lot of change to variation to it. It's just a gradual spiral in itself.
I can cast Stone Skin on one person. So then we need the other person who might be within range of
Trinket.
Trinket.
Okay.
Trinket's here?
As you look over,
Oh!
I don't mean to demean the Trinket. He is a lovely bear.
Of all the bears I've known, he's top five.
Top-notch,
Top five.
as he's saying this, Trinket senses
he was
the
the most
conversation and kind of like plants both feet on the ground.
He looks, see how tough he is. He's pretty tough.
Seems to be showing off. And for a moment, even though there's conversation,
Okay.
there's a dangerous looking bear.
No,
I like to
Stone
use
Skin.
beast speak on Trinket.
All right.
And
Oh,
say,
really?
Trinket, what are you feeling right now? What's going on? You seem very excited.
Okay, you notice Zara leans forward and starts giving this series of low guttural sounds. Like it's weird. There's like this weird arcane interference and this strange, almost like the sound itself is being muffled and stretched. And Trinket returns to her and starts giving the same noises back.
I'll do whatever it takes to protect my Vex. If this creature tries anything, I will tear its throat from its head.
He's a sexier bear than he
Sounds
was.
super sexy.
Very sexy bear.
Trinket just, okay.
And he gives really good
Is that Tom
massages, Lyra.
Hardy?
He gives
Gosh,
really
okay, so I will cast Stone Skin. It lasts an hour, so I'll cast it. Do I within the perimeter that
So
we think
as
we're
you're
getting?
having this conversation,
Linda, I love him very much.
I also want you to know that Vex loves you very much and will do whatever she can to
As a
protect you
wink,
as
Trinket.
well.
Right at you. I love you.
as this guttural conversation happens forth, Trinket comes up to you and nuzzles nose up against the side.
Oh, little buddy.
It finishes casting Stone Skin and reaches out and touches Trinket. You can see Trinket's physical form. All the fur seems to coalesce into a thick rock type exterior shell of magical protection. All damage that Trinket takes from bludgeoning, piercing, or slashing is reduced by half.
That's great.
The giants have begun to move forward through the cavern.
Oh, it's happening.
Yep.
You guys continue to push upward this long, spiraling corridor. As you guys are stepping forward at the pathway, you turn a corner, you can see the giants have stopped, and they kind of have there's a physical trepidation to the way that they're kind of leaning backward in their stance. And
We're
as
like
you,
right there, aren't we?
as you turn the corner, the little bit of light that reaches out and it opens into a darkened chamber. You can see a smattering of broken bits along the ground. It looks like rocks of ice, a frozen leg of some humanoid, an arm.
His growling snarl, and this little voice kind of spills out from underneath and says, "Why don't you enter? If you're going to arrive and present yourselves, do not cower yet."
We have our fantastic Travis finally made it. About 10-15 feet up on this platform, leaning over the edge is Rhymefang, staring at you through the darkness. A claw comes forward and beckons.
I'm gonna hand you my holy hand grenade of Antioch. So
Seriously?
why not?
I am putting Percy's hand grenade inside this bag along with a diamond. Oh, it's a really pretty diamond.
I have a ruby.
As you guys are walking through and the light hits the walls, you begin to see The ice itself, which you've been accustomed to, is now being broken up with the visual of what looks like little glittering stars. It's almost like you're walking through a frozen area of the night sky.
Oh, it's pretty.
You realize that there are gold pieces frozen in sporadically all throughout the wall, the floor, the ceiling here. The actual, whatever wealth that this dragon has acquired is in some way, shape, or form embedded in its own layer. Rhymefang sits there perched atop this central platform, just kind of grinning down towards the rest of the group.
While he's talking, I just want to make my way along the wall a little
As
bit
you
more.
make a stealth check,
20! Natural 20!
So stealthy. You're so stealthy.
you somehow manage to dart out of the visual reference of a very focused adult white dragon. Rhymefang does not seem to gather any movement, and you just vanish into the side. Where do you want to go?
Stealthy bastard.
As you begin to look through, you also see there are currently frozen in place 3 other individuals that are like in mid-battle and are frozen solid.
Oh, great Rhymefang. What a glorious moon you are amidst the stars of your treasure.
Oh, Poradon one.
We do have an offering for you.
Yes, and I use Mage Hand to lift the diamond out of the bag and sort of dangle it in front of the dragon. We've brought you this diamond. We come from the Slayer's Take. We represent the guild, and we are here to formally apologize for sending a few of our members here in the past, and to promise that we never shall again. And as a gift of apology and hopefully brotherhood, we offer you this diamond. There are many more to come.
And everything else in the bag as
And
well.
then you put it back in the bag. And you give it to him.
There's this low guttural snarl. Like,
You trespass into my domain. Your voice is bickering and bouncing off the walls, annoying me, waking me from my slumber, my freshly eaten slumber. I am curious before you so walk into my dinner table. Why you seem to have gotten past my guardians.
at which point the 2 giants who are standing behind you kind of look at each other nervously.
Your guardians are well aware of our power and position, and did not want to offend you by turning us away.
Are you to tell me I spared your insignificant lives so you could let this insulting, insufferable insect into the heart of my domain?
I'm called Burt Reynolds, and I take great offense at that.
The dragon's head turns to the side for a moment with a glance of confusion and almost amusement that you speak up to it with such a disrespectful manner.
You can call me Mr. Reynolds or simply Burt.
The wings unfurl outward, and its head looks down upon you directly.
Bert. You say you're from the Slayer's Take. I have not lived these 100 years or so to become the hunted. I am the hunter. Giants, to my side. Tonight, you choose whether I dine on you or just them.
Are you fuck me?
I don't know if you have that spell.
I use fuck me.
I use awakened mind to once more say, now we have seen what you have been through. We see the terror that you face every day from this awful beast. This is your chance. You may not have another. Fight him with us and destroy this beast forever.
Make a persuasion check versus the dragon's intimidation check.
Oh, you versus a dragon!
Fuck!
That's good!
Plus what? 27.
Yes.
That's pretty
The
good.
giants look at each other. They look down at the rest of you. They pull their axes out, with their shields at the ready, and then look back up at Rhymefang. And in giant, you hear mutter under their breath.
It's now or never.
Roll initiative.
I'm going to pull out bad news. 15?
15 unfortunately does not hit. As you shoot, it actually hits the body, but the hardness of the dragon's scales ricochets the shot off.
I'm taking my action surge.
Okay, so you use your action surge.
32 to hit.
That does.
That's good.
15 points of damage.
Alrighty.
And a headshot means he's got disadvantage on all attacks for the next round.
Okay. As you see the shot ricochet off of Rhymefang's face, a couple of pieces of white dragon scales shooting off into the darkness, and the head kind of rears from the impact, shakes, seemingly kind of loosely shaken by the impact of the blast.
I'm going to cast Lightning Arrow, and I'm going to attack through my blazing bow.
Yeah, come on.
Alrighty.
25?
She said
25?
Yeah.
25 does hit, yes?
Yes.
That's a natural 20 not saving throw, so it takes half damage.
That's some stink eye.
Hey,
Felt that from here.
21 plus Hunter's Mark
So many numbers.
is 4, and then plus my blazing bow, that looks like a 1.
you pull back your arrow, the actual shaft begins to spark with bluish energy. As you release it, the arrow transforms into an arcing bolt of electrical energy. It impacts and courses through the upper torso of the dragon as it's still trying to kind of shake off the damage. There's also a burst of fire from the impact as well. You can see a little bit of flame trickle up the side of its body, and it kind of just eventually goes out from the cold in the air.
Okay, so just a regular attack.
All right.
That's 17.
17, as you fire the arrow, it takes its wing and batters it out of the way, and the arrow just shatters in midair.
Great.
You see a burst of fire as it does nothing. Rhymefang now, kind of like shaking off the frustration, looks around at the room, lifts up on its back hind legs, spreads its wings, and just gives this large roar. The entire room shakes, and you see pieces of ice and rock begin to stop falling from the ceiling. Everybody, go ahead and make a wisdom saving throw. The sheer amount of presence that this dragon permeates sends a shiver of fear down your spine. Vex, Percy, Grog, and one of the giants are currently frightened of the dragon. While you are frightened, you have disadvantage on ability checks and attack rolls, and you cannot willingly move closer to the dragon. And then swoops over and lands over on this side, and that's going to end its turn.
I look over my shoulder, terrified at the other one that's scary, and I say, repeat after me, lads. I would like to rage.
So you reach into your inner self, and suddenly you realize this is it. You know dragons, you've fought dragons in the past, you've killed dragons in the past, and you know dragons have been responsible for hurting some of your friends or their families, and through that anger just bellows up from inside. And that fear shakes from your body,
I
and
want to kill a dragon like my friend Pug did.
Yeah.
you're now in a rage. You shake the fear effect, and you can take the rest of your turn.
Well, I would like to run. Can I attack?
Hiding behind
You're currently hiding behind a 15-foot platform. That's
So I can't see beyond it?
You can't see
That's
anything.
fine.
You're literally hiding it from the dragon right now.
Cool.
I cast my bonus hex
All right.
on this beautiful beast. I take my dark dragon staff. And as this moon orb begins to glow, I cast Witch Bolt. 24.
All right, so Witch Bolt does hit.
Yes.
41 points.
Yeah.
After you hex it, you'd see the shadows around the dragon begin to form and coalesce around its torso. If you bring your staff forward, and this bolt of bluish green electrical energy kind of shakes out in what looks like a piercing arc of jagged moonlight that strikes right into the center of the dragon's chest. That energy just surrounds it like magical shackles and continues to keep its hold on the creature as Witch Bolt is.
As it will. As it will.
My eyes begin to change to a dark shade.
Yes!
As I turn my gaze to the dragon and cast Eye Bite on him.
What? You cast what?
What's up?
Eye Bite.
All right, and how are you having that effect? What's your?
I would like to sicken him. Give him a little tummy ache.
It's going to use its legendary resistance to choose to succeed instead.
It's
He just can choose to succeed?
That's
Welcome
How
to-
many times
welcome
can it
to
choose
fighting
to do that?
3 times per day.
Son of a
Welcome to
bitch!
fighting a dragon.
Oh, but that was a cool spell!
his biggest
So
spell.
as darkened, the dragon is currently surrounded by the witch bolt and the hex of the creature. It kind of shakes its head and shouts. You instinctively pull back, and as you do, the spell kind of drifts away from you, and you realize the incantation's lost.
And give some inspiration to Lyra.
Okay. So as he runs back, he turns to you.
I'll say, when the moon hits your eye like a big pizza pie. That's Aldore.
Yeah.
Now the giants go. This one is
Yes,
just heavy. This one's just going to move to the side. It's deathly afraid of the dragon. It's like, this is a bad idea. It's really regretting its decision. It's going to attempt to shake the effect, and does so. The giant's going to move forward. Whoosh, makes 2 strikes to the dragon, and it kind of dodges out of the way. And the second one, it reaches up with its claw and slaps, just parries its axe out of the way, and just glares at it. And you can see in that moment the giant also itself is like,
Oh, come on, giant.
I'm doing disintegrate.
Okay.
it does make it saving throw, so half damage. But rounding up, it's 40 damage, still 40 force damage to the dragon. With the swelling of energy that Scanline gave you, reminding you of Aldor, you release, and once again, that sickeningly green beam of arcane energy just streaks out, hits the dragon, and with a burst of arcane energy, you can see part of its scales have withered, part of its wing kind of is now tattered and missing, and immediately the physical form of the dragon is reeling in pain.
Just a standard shot. For
Okay.
right now.
So a total of 17.
Yeah.
As you fire, it would have hit. Unfortunately, it streaks through the portion of the wing that currently is left a gaping hole thanks to the disintegrate spell.
Oh, for the love of... Oh.
All right, then I'm just gonna try to hit the dragon with a regular attack. I'm not
Okay.
gonna-
Here we go! Yeah, no, it doesn't hit. We're gonna die.
And
I'm
shatters
gonna try
across
it
the
again,
ice.
you guys.
The arrow splinters off the top of the wing as it reaches up. Rhymefang, who currently has this giant in its face, kind of, as a legendary action at the end of your turn, actually.
Oh god, this is legendary.
Instead of, before it takes its turn, as you miss and fire and Tringo's running along, trying to do a wing attack against the giant in front of it. The giant has to try and make a 30 saving throw.
He's dead.
Does not. The giant is not
Headless.
prone from the wings, whoosh, buffeting it with wind as it begins to take off. Dragon
It
then
does matter from
takes
us.
up.
It needs to be from us.
and lands right there.
Oh no.
And rears back its head. And unleashes a torrent of freezing cold dragon's breath. It can only really hit these guys. It's gonna hit the giant, it's gonna hit Lyra, and it's gonna hit Percy.
20.
Wait. She gets my inspiration on this throw on this
If
save.
she chooses to use it, yes.
Yes, I definitely want to use it. So I
Okay,
get to
so add a d10 to what you roll.
10.
10, thank God, because that's the 21.
21. Okay.
Yes.
You both so you both take 27 points of cold damage. The giant that had been partially disintegrated before by Lyra now takes the brunt of the frozen damage, and you can now see the ice begins to build up around it as it's and gurgles. The giant is no more.
I would like to race back from whence I came to attack his right flank if I could. I'd like to go into a frenzied rage. Yes! And start swinging away.
All right, so 3 attacks on the big old dragon. 19 does hit.
Beautiful. 25
Does hit.
and a 23.
Yes! Go ahead, roll damage.
So 19.
19.
19
Did I
damage.
do that 3 times?
Yeah.
Oh, wow. 12.
12, all right.
Ooh, 21.
Nice. As you bring the warhammer down, it smacks the side of the dragon. The flames all of a sudden burst off of it from the impact. You can see as you pull back, the white scales are a little bit burned and charred and blackened behind from the first attack. You bring it back, slam again in the second part. As you do, the dragon roars out in pain. As you bring the hammer back,
Some more.
swing underneath, and then hit it from underneath the bottom of its torso, right where its ribs would be, with a crack sound. You did it a third time, leaving a second giant charred mark where the warhammer made impact. You don't have to roll attack again. You just use your action.
I just fucking keep going.
Yeah, do it.
Fucking witch
Do it!
So you focus it again. Your eyes still glowing that strange kind of midnight moon color with like this black kind of smoke that's framing the side of it. You take your staff and force your will through it. Once again, that connection between you and the dragon, and that weird swirling greenish blue energy that surrounds the dragon, connects with your staff, and as it does, it sends another bolt of otherworldly energy. 44 points of damage.
Nice.
As it, once again, like a giant piece of the dragon scales kind of shatter off the side, like you're cracking into the center of an icy, mountainous crag side.
It's Big B's hand. Big B's hand. Show on it. I'll just punch him in his dragon face.
Okay. A very large, kind of mystical, see-through replica of your fist appears in the air above you and goes spinning off in the air to arc. 19. Wham! Just barely hits as the fist goes slamming into the side of the dragon face. Big old Popeye punch to the side of the jaw. That's 21 points of damage. Nice, that's it.
I'm 20 feet away.
You are.
I will go 18 feet away from it and drop the grenade.
So now there is a grenade
Right next to Grog.
on the ground, right there.
I can't really see.
You're burly.
You are you're there, right next to Grog.
Derek,
20
whatever.
feet. That's enough to get there. It moves up behind, and it's going to make 2 of its axe swipes.
Hit him in the ass!
It's just rolling shit.
Come
Comes
on!
in, swings twice, and just manages to catch
The
air.
most useless giant. I'm going to cast Hold Monster.
Yes!
Monster!
Yosh!
You take your arcane thoughts and you come around imagining this arcane cage that begins to form out of the ether around the dragon. These bars and tighten around it. The dragon rolls a 2 for its saving throw.
Yes!
Going to use its legendary
But-
resistance to automatically succeed.
How many of those does he have?
He has one more. He has one more.
He has one more.
Alright, so
The cage tightens around it, the dragon just takes its wings and buffs it off, and the arcane cage shatters and disappears into the air.
I'm just gonna take a shot at the dragon for the moment.
Okay.
19.
Couldn't have finished it
19
better.
with disadvantage.
Yeah.
Does hit.
26 points of damage.
26 points of damage. Nice.
I'm gonna use second wind.
Oh, second wind. Go for it. There you go. So you heal 11 points of damage. You can use its last legendary action to take its tail and swing around and whack it at the gnome that it heard sneak up behind it and drop something on the ground. That's going to be a natural 20. 36 points of bludgeoning damage as the tail slams down onto you.
And also onto the grenade.
But it's not a concussion
You know what?
grenade.
Oh, I'm right fucking there. I was gonna move.
I'm sorry, I'm sorry!
And down onto the grenade you set on the ground.
Sorry, I shouldn't have
Concussion
said that.
grenade? Does it? It's already armed, isn't it?
it has
It is
nails
filled
in
with
it.
black powder and it is a
Oh, shit,
triggerable
I'm
mechanism.
sorry, I don't know why I said that.
I appreciate the reminder. It's
also gonna hurt
the
it.
grenade, and there's a poof, an explosion muffled sound from underneath the tail. I want Grog and Scanlan to go ahead and make dexterity saving throws.
And it's,
Yes, 21.
yes.
Both of you guys take half damage from the strike. You both take 12 points of damage.
Did the dragon take damage?
The dragon does not make its saving throw against it, though.
Yes!
And takes the full. What did I tell you guys? It was the
12.
12 was half.
Oh my god.
All right, the grenade worked.
last
Yay!
Pulls its tail up, and there's like a big arc of smoke off of its tail as it pulls it up and kind of shakes out the pain that it just suffered from.
I'm gonna attack it.
It's 27 with a disadvantage with the exploding arrow.
The exploding arrow?
Yes.
That
Yes!
just hit.
16, and then 6
Okay.
additional.
Additional.
I also need Scanlan and Grog to make dexterity saving throws.
Oh no, I'm sorry, I'm
Wait,
stupid.
what did you just shoot at us?
An exploding arrow.
Nice.
You take 3 points of fire damage.
Only?
Sorry, Scanlan, I'm
Yes,
sorry.
Scanlan, you
I'm
take
sorry.
6 points of fire damage.
Okay.
Wow.
From just the, you guys will just avoid the grenade and then second explosion again.
For my second attack, Trinket, go up and attack him.
Trinket
was
just kind
inspiring.
of rushes in and is going to make 2
he's gonna
attacks at
do-
it. 21 hits, go and roll damage.
Yes, 13 extra damage.
13 extra damage as Trinket runs up. The first strike hits the armor and just streaks across without damage. Its other claw goes in and sinks into the side of one of its calves and
Yeah.
tears a portion of the dragon's flesh. It roars out, and Trinket, just bringing its claw down, roars back at it. It is now Rhymefang's turn.
No.
No, he won't. I cast a
Big B
spell
hand.
on it as it retreats from me
Okay,
because I am a warcaster.
okay.
And I will cast Bigby's hand to grapple that shit and pull him back down. 26.
Yeah.
As the dragon brings its wings up, whoosh, whoosh, the hand grabs its wings together and forces it back onto the ground. It shakes off the effect, but it's unable to fly
You
away.
will leave when Burt Reynolds tells you to leave. 18.
Yeah.
What's damage as the hand crushes on it and holding it in place, it does not get a chance to move. It is going to use multi-attacks. It's going to make all of them against you.
Of course it will. And thus ends Scanlan.
No.
23 to hit,
That hits.
18 points of piercing damage.
Oh no, Scanlan's unconscious.
Plus are you unconscious?
Yeah.
Okay. So Scanlan falls unconscious on the ground.
No.
Its second claw attack hits. You immediately fail a death saving throw from the second strike. The second claw attack hits you as well as it's focused on you. You failed 2 death saving
Oh
throws.
my god.
It's a dragon.
Oh my god, oh my god. Oh my god, oh my god, oh my god, oh my god.
That's the end of its turn.
I race over to Scanlan and I pour a level 3. I pour a level 3 healing potion into Scanlan's mouth.
Okay.
This is my friend, the lady favors. I need him.
All right, 19 now.
So you're at 19 hit points and you're conscious now. The wounds seal up.
Oh, hi.
You still failed 2 death saving throws.
oh,
You're
yeah.
down to the end of the battle.
Oh, yeah, I know.
Can I do anything else? Can I do anything else after I poured it into? Can I do anything else?
You have a bonus action, which you
Can I throw him the fuck away from the dragon?
I'll say because you're frenzy rage, normally you get an additional attack. I would say you can use that to.
And I won't throw. I'll slide him on the icy floor towards Lyra.
Okay.
That
Make
is
an
an
athletics
RT.
check.
Okay.
Hockey.
Natural 20.
Fucking witch bolt. I push even harder for Scanlan's sake.
All right.
51.
51 points of damage.
Whoa.
Wow.
You blast again. This time, the greenish blue energy flaring up into a vibrant, angry yellow, and now you can see what once was almost like a bolt of arcane moon energy becomes an actual burning fire in its visual.
I will dimension door way over there.
Okay.
Bye.
So Scanlan stands up, waves his hand, and this blackened archway just whoosh, appears next to him with this crackling sound of energy. He leaps through it and just vanishes out of sight.
And I'll take one of those 4 healing potions that someone gave us.
The giant is going to
Get up, Gary, you piece of shit!
On, attack it. Hit
that'll
something.
be 21 that hits.
Yes.
24 points of slashing damage as the dragon, as its first strike, woof, whiffs, and as it brings back with a backhand, it kind of brings its shield up to protect itself. The axe, smack,
Yes.
lands about a good 7 to 8 inches into the
Yeah,
dragon's
bro.
hide. The dragon, the head turns around.
You traitor!
I'm gonna try to hold monster again.
He fails his saving throw,
Yes.
but uses his 3rd and final legendary resistance to resist.
Well, at least we
Good,
sucked
drain
it
it.
up.
We drain those.
Great.
Thank you for sacrifice.
That's over with now. I'm gonna take one last really good shot. I'm gonna shoot him right in the face again. I'm gonna spin my grip point and hit him in the face.
Okay.
31 to hit.
31 will hit, yeah.
15 points of damage.
15 points of damage.
But he's got disadvantage on all attacks until my turn.
As you take your shot, it ricochets off the armor. The dragon starts to look a little rough. You can see bits of the blood beginning to seep from the inside of its
my
scales.
goodness.
It's starting to look a little, harsher and harsher. It's still standing up pretty well, but you can see it's starting to get a little more battle worn.
I'm gonna cast Hail of Thorns on the dragon at 26.
26 hits. Yes.
Yes.
13 for the actual arrow,
All right. 13.
plus another 5 for Hunter's Mark. 13 for the Hail of Thorns.
18.
Raise them
So that's
up.
9 points of damage to you, Grog. 9 points to the giant, and 9 points to the dragon.
And then I get another attack.
You do. You have 2 attacks.
That's a 16.
That unfortunately does not hit. Well, it hits, but the arrow just shatters across the dragon's armor. As the giant takes a blasting impact of thorns across its torso, you see it kind of
I'm
looks.
sorry.
It looks It looks at the dragon. Rhymefang looks at the rest of the view, which some of you have fallen, some of you are on the ground. It decides that perhaps it chose its alliances poorly,
Oh, fuck.
and you can see it takes its axe and shield ready, and almost like in the Phalanx format, it's now alongside the dragon. Rhymefang is going to fly
Except I'm
overhead.
gonna get frozen right now.
Rack its head and then arc across the ground with its breath weapon, hitting Percy, Vex, and Lyra. Both of you guys take 54 points of cold damage.
Whoa.
54. Lyra, you go ahead and take 27 points of cold damage. And lands on top of this upper platform.
My charge, Gary, and hack away.
25.
25.
Hits.
28.
Hits.
20.
20 hits.
24 on the first one.
Nice.
17 on the second one.
All right.
15 on the third one.
As you rush forward, whack! Whack! The first two hits. One hits in the side, and you can see it reacts. The second one, it brings its shield up, and you splinter the buckler shield on its arm, and as it shatters, you can see the bones in its arm crack from the impact, and drops its arm to one side. It reveals the underside of its torso.
Hello.
You use that to reach down, leap in the air, and with an overhead swipe, slam this warhammer with all your strength into the side of its ribcage. As you do, crack! You can see its torso cave in at the giant. All of a sudden,
How far away from the dragon am I?
you are 30 feet away.
That's exactly right, which means Witch Bolt is still in effect.
Yep.
53.
Damn!
Yeah!
This time, as you focus again, the kind of yellowish energy has now transitioned to a deep, hot, searing red flame from your eyes. Streaks across and slams into the side of the dragon. You can see the impact. The scales are left with this kind of glowing red heat from the blast. It's 90 feet away from you.
Sniper shot. From the shadows, I cast Lightning Bolt, which has 100-foot range.
It does, and because it's high enough, the
angle is nice and clean.
Yeah, that's true. So out of the darkness, release a bolt of energy.
26.
At the end of your turn, it's going to go ahead and use one of its legendary actions to make a tail attack. Reach over the side here at Percy, who's currently standing there. Spins around his tail. Whoosh, comes swinging down over the side. Another natural 20. 32 points of bludgeoning damage to you, Percy.
Percy's out.
Whack from over the top.
I'm out.
Oh no! Okay, I can fireball him now.
Rolled a 15 plus 5, so it is half damage. So that's still 26 points of damage to it.
Not bad.
And this arcing bead of red streaks through the darkness, impacts right at the side of the dragon's wing, and then bursts into a giant ball of flame. The whole cavern rocks from the sound of the impact. Unfortunately, the radius of the blast, as it is 20 radius, is large enough. Percy his body is hit in the impact and blasted onto its back now. Do automatically fail a death saving throw from that. And that brings us to the top. Percy, go ahead and make a saving throw. Just roll a 10 or higher.
I did not roll a 10 or higher.
Fail a second death saving throw.
Oh god!
Oh my god!
Oh god!
I'm going to lightning arrow the dragon.
Okay.
It's a 29.
29 hits.
14.
14. It does not make the save.
Yes! 17. That's another 6 for Hunter's Mark. Plus another 11.
That's another 11. Okay. Once again, it turns into a bolt of pure arcane energy. Yes! Smacking into the side of it, you can see the explosion hit and the energy crackles the rest of its body. Its muscles shudder and it has to grasp the side of the top of this platform to even keep itself steady.
For my second attack.
Oh!
Yes! That's a 30.
30 hits. Go ahead and roll damage.
19.
Okay, so 19 total.
No.
Okay, as the arrow embeds itself on the side of the neck, you can see now the dragon reaches up and it's scratching at the pain as it pulls the arrow out. Blood begins to pour down its side. It is now Rhyme Fang's turn. And lets out a spray of icy damage out in this direction. I need to get a dexterity saving throw from Lyra, from Vex, and from Zara. 54 points of damage to you.
I'm down.
Unconscious? Lyra is currently unconscious, and there is a coat of ice around her body holding her in place.
I'm at 28 hit points.
Okay, you're like, you kick the frost off and you're on one knee, and you take 54 points of ice damage.
Are you unconscious too?
No, I'm not. I use Hellish Rebuke.
Oh!
Oh.
What is that?
Okay.
That sounds hellish.
Okay, so it takes 2d10 fire damage, so go ahead and roll that.
Yes!
9.
9 points of fire damage? How do you want to do this? How do you finish this dragon with your hellish rebuke?
I want this hellish rebuke to me levitating in the air and using my dark dragon staff to blast it, eviscerating everything from the bowels down with hellish fire.
So, after the frost cakes in the front of you and there is ice caked against the front of your armor, you suddenly look up at it and as your eyes flare with flame, the ice evaporates from the sheer heat that your body's emanating. You're slowly floating in the air. The warlock energy now swirling around you. The shadows are spinning around you and coalescing around your feet. You take the staff forward, and with an angry snarl, you live one last blast of infernal energy. The hellish rebuke then sinking into the side of its chest. As the inside of its flesh begins to spark and smoke, the dragon reaches out and grabs the side. It's beginning to try and bring its wings up to fly away, and as it does, a blast of infernal flame comes cascading out of its chest. Its eyes suddenly go from this piercing blue-white to a dull gray color.
Yes!
No, you can't.
Yes, I fucking can!
That Rhyme Fang falls dead to the floor.
I run over to Lyra, cast Seeming on myself to give myself the appearance of Aldor. And I pour a potion into her mouth. And I wake her up.
What happened?
You did good, baby.
I'm just in him.
I run over to Percy and pour a healing potion in his mouth, and I don't in him.
Oh, look, it's dead.
Hello, Percy.
Oh my god, I stand up and I give Zara a giant hug.
We cut that bastard up for scrap now.
Wait, then I notice, Aldor, why are you so short?
Baby,
Again.
I can't change height, so so I release seeming and I'm back to normal.
That was not as good a kiss as usual. I was worried,
I'm sorry.
but it was special.
Can I go and loot the giant that's not frozen?
For the most part, all you're able to find off of its body are approximately 120 gold pieces,
That's good.
which isn't bad. The part of it, harvesting the organs from a creature is a delicate process.
It's a nature, what is it,
It's
a check
a
for?
nature-based check, yeah. So between the two of you working together, that'll give you advantage on the checks.
Start with the eyes.
Nice. Pop them out. Pop those bitches out. It's 21.
21, okay. As you come over, you take and pop very delicately each dragon eye out and place it into the satchel. As you pull each eye out, it's like holding the coldest orb you've ever held. It actually burns your fingers as you clutch it. You're like, throw it inside and have to like shake your hand up.
Tongue would be next.
Tongue would be nice.
All right, go ahead and roll for that.
23.
23. All right, so you managed to, with the help of Vex, pulling the jaw open, Grog holding on the side, Lyra's supervising. You
Good job.
managed to get to the base of the tongue, carve off.
It was
You pull out the rather massive, very heavy tongue, which once again, this in itself is like, put it in real fast.
a heart.
The heart. This isn't going to be difficult. Part of the chest is blown open, exposing the interior, but
That
there
make
has
it
been
easier?
damage done to the inside, so
All right.
go ahead and attempt this.
This is 20.
Oh, 20. 20 is just what you needed. You fly in and crack open a portion of its body, and you begin to slowly carve out the portion of the heart. And the dragon heart itself is massive. It's huge, and it takes 3 of you to pull it out. And you're like,
How do we
are we
fit in
supposed to
this bag?
fit this in here? You don't know, but it's not going to fit in that satchel.
I should know what people would do in the guild situation if they had an organ that wouldn't fit in the bag, right? We have to preserve it, so.
Travel back quickly.
We can roll it up in one of our fancy robes, though, and just kind of hold
Pack it
on
in
to
ice as well.
True. As you begin to wrap it up, you notice that the cold air begins to crack around it, and the heart itself is freezing as per the nature of a freshly
Okay.
dead white dragon.
That's
so
probably
it
normal.
might be a good thing.
Okay.
Teeth.
Yes. 13.
13. Going through the jaw, you begin
Good thing there's a
plucking
lot of
teeth
teeth.
out. Most of them, you notice, as part of the nature of the body, beginning to decay faster than you expected. A lot of the teeth are becoming brittle and breaking, and as you start pulling them out, you're frustrated because each one, it seems to almost shatter as soon as you claw it from the jaw. By the end of it, you manage to gather about 3 dragon's teeth before the
That's
rest
okay.
of them
We have a
begin to break.
shitload of dragon teeth left over from
But
the
we
first
need
dragon.
white
Need
dragon.
white ones.
He
Can
was
we-
a white
There was a
dragon.
white dragon that we did.
It was a white dragon. We
Okay.
have 37
White dragon.
left over.
We have 37 dragon teeth from the first white dragon.
Oh.
Claws. Let's go for
Claws?
claws.
Close. All right.
Okay.
15.
15. And beginning to pull out the portions of its hands and getting the base over the claw itself begins to grow. You manage to pull out 5 functional dragon
Okay.
claws.
How many did
without
we
them
need,
breaking.
Percy?
6. Do we have an extra? We have one, so.
Oh,
You guys
sweet.
prepared with
All
your
right.
bag.
Now can we get some scales?
Go ahead and roll for scales.
20 for scales.
20 for scales. Okay, so all of you working together, you managed to pull off what amounts to about 25 pounds of dragon scales.
25 pounds of
Mind you,
dragon
the scales are heavy and they're about that
I can
big
hold it.
each.
You want
It would be enough if you were to bring it to a master craftsman to possibly construct a set of armor from them. You look down and you can see that there appears to be quite a hoard of something frozen beneath the surface
I'm
of
gonna
this
come over
cavern.
like, oh, I can help. I throw a fireball.
Melt it.
You start carving, you're like, oh, dug out of the way. You see Simon's fire bolts begin blasting the ice. So between the two of you guys, you take a dagger, you take your staff, and you begin jamming into the ice. You manage to break it apart, and you do find beneath there, frozen, quite a hoard. You find over the next hour or so, 4,244 gold pieces.
Whoa!
A cluster of gems worth altogether around 850 gold. A singular diamond, it's about that large. You take some time with each one of these items that you pull out from the ice, and each one emanates a magical aura from them. You take the gloves first and you look at them, and you eventually come to realize, oh, you've heard about this. You've read about this in your books. These are gloves of missile snaring. When a ranged weapon attack hits you while you're wearing them, you can use a reaction to reduce the damage by a certain amount, provided you have a free hand. Looking at the hat, it is a hat of disguise. While wearing this hat, you can use an action to cast the disguise self spell at will. The potion is a potion of climbing.
Oh.
If a potion is drinking, you can actually climb your walking speed for 1 hour. You look over at the corpses that are frozen on the ground. You see one of the corpses itself is wielding a sword, and another one of the corpses appears to have a shattered bow in one hand, but there is a quiver in its back. Within the quiver, you see most of the arrows are frozen solid within the quiver, but there is one that seems unaffected by the ice. You immediately recognize there's a similar enchantment on both of these weapons, and whoever came in here earlier had the intent of slaying this dragon and failed to do so. But what you find is a Dragon Slayer longsword, which is a +1 weapon normally, but against dragons it deals an additional 3d6 damage with every hit. An arrow of dragon slaying.
Arrow of dragon.
It's a singular arrow. It's a one-use arrow. But if it hits a dragon, it has to make a Constitution saving throw or take an additional 6d10 piercing damage.
What? Wow.
At this point, you guys have taken probably a good hour and a half or so in this cavern. You can start seeing water drip.
Oh, we should get out.
Yep, let's leave.
Starting to
Beginning
go.
to thaw on the
We
ice.
should head back to town because we have to get this shit back.
First, you go and you pull out the contract effects to inspect it, and you can see that the arcane sigils that were built into there are currently faded.
Yay!
We completed it!
And where it looks like each piece of the dragon that you harvested correctly has seemingly have a strange glimmering gold kind of shimmer from the actual text on the contract.
Lima, they're gonna love you.
It's so exciting. I can't wait to go to the mess hall and tell everybody many times over and over how
amazing
this
you
happened
are.
together.
Yes.
And you guys, this has been an amazing journey.
You guys trek back through the caverns you arose. About a day and a half's worth of travel later, you notice that the blizzard that kind of encompassed the 6-mile radius of this mountain range has faded into a soft fog, and the actual weather in this area seems to have been connected to the presence of the dragon is slowly dissipating. You enter the city, make your way through the braving grounds, the quad roads to the outside of the Slayer's Take Guild Hall. As you enter the main room, you see Merton is standing there. He looks up.
I take off the bag and
I
plop
hope
it
be
on.
damned. Are you serious? You killed him.
Martin, we did it.
Show me your contract. Show me this contract.
I mean, I don't know why you doubt us.
Here you go,
but
Mom.
really, it's right here.
Well done.
And he raises his hand up to shake your hand.
Oh my gosh. I start crying. This is the most fun. Thank you. And I just hug him.
Okay.
Like,
I appreciate it very much. You lost me 200 gold pieces, but well done. You've proven to be more than I expected.
A few months later, the headmaster
think he was
Vanessa
playing
Sindriel
himself
comes in, her tiefling self with her horns kind of curled behind her head, kind of walks in with this smooth glare, I must say, some of these contracts you put out as a test of your power and will, and to be perfectly honest, I was pulling for you. And she puts out her hand, and her husband takes a pouch of coin, puts it in her hand. So, with the contract completed, provide what you've harvested from your quarry, and payment will be delivered. The heart of which Karag has been like carrying on its back as you guys travel. Slam it down, and it's like poof, it hits the table, and kind of like the wood cracks a little bit beneath it.
Can we ask who actually contracted?
Gold and gold and gold?
It's written on the contract itself.
Alchemist Oswind Brund.
Oh,
Brandon Alchemy.
You know you've heard the name and trying to figure out where it is. You pick it up and say, he's a member of the Arcana Pensophical. Allura by Soren is a member of the Arcana.
Oh, right.
Yes, it's false. It's most likely going to good use, at the very least.
Yes, potentially.
So do we collect our money?
Indeed.
us money.
What is the total on that contract, if you don't mind?
I was just working that out. 9,000 total.
9,000 gold pieces. She reaches beneath. She pulls up 3 large sacks of gold on the table. Well done. Congratulations. And I look forward to a very fruitful and profitable future together here at the Slayer's Take.
Scanlan, should we go and make sure that your wounds are completely healed?
Perhaps.
And Vanessa, I just want to thank you for entrusting me with this very, very difficult task. I know that you sent some other people after this dragon, and your confidence in our abilities over theirs, who were defeated, it's just fantastic. I mean, what were you thinking?
What were you thinking?
What were you thinking, really? It's
Yes.
To be perfectly honest, this dragon had been a thorn in our side with previous contracts, failed on its side, and you all seemed so confident in your skills. I figured it would be a good excuse for you to either flee from this thing and come back with your tail between your legs, or be foolish and get yourself killed, in which case you're not a problem of ours anymore and everything's fine, or, best case scenario, what you've shown to me today.
Which is that we're amazing.
And Vox Machina does not flee.
Never. Although I'm not a porter.
Make you an
I
honorary
shall
member.
never flee.
Anyway, I have business to attend to. Enjoy your night, celebrate, and return here when you wish to see your friends. Hopefully return as successful as you were. And with that, we'll conclude tonight's session. Well done!
I can't believe we survived.